Well, the data is in from Bank of America on how wealthy individuals invest. Now, I read this whole damn report for you, did the hard work, and there's some really interesting conclusions in there about how millennials invest versus Gen Xers and maybe even baby boomers. And the studies have found that millennials are actually investing higher into alternative assets versus Gen X and baby boomers. I'm gonna get into the report, there's some interesting takeaways there that millennials might be doing that frankly Gen X and the baby boomers need to learn from. I'm Matt Sorensen, let's build wealth. All right, now there was a critical chart in this survey that broke down those age 21 to 43 versus those age 44 plus and how they are investing. Now, the first two assets that those 44 or older are investing into at the highest percentage is domestic equities and real estate. Domestic equities is the stock market. Big companies in the US, that's what domestic equities is. And then real estate investments, of course, could be your home or other rental properties or investment properties. Now, the drastic difference for the Gen Zs and millennials is they were investing in real estate. That was actually their number one most allocated to asset. But the number two asset was cryptocurrency. Their number three asset, private equity. They're investing more in these quote unquote alternative assets that have been driving greater return. Private equity being a class that has outperformed the market over the last 20 years. And cryptocurrency, which right now, sitting here as I'm recording this, Bitcoin is trading at $99,000 per BTC. And what these younger investors have decided is they're not gonna just do what their parents are doing and go dump all their money in the stock market. They're more interested in alternative assets. They're more interested in growing and building wealth, and they don't care about illiquidity. And this is one of the knocks of people that are investing in private equity or real estate. This is the number 1 and 3 item on this 21 to 43-year-old age bracket. Now, illiquidity is one of the big knocks you'll get from people, maybe the boomers or Gen Xers that are gonna say, we wanna have our money liquid. The stock market, I can sell my stock tomorrow. But that real estate investment, that private equity investment, I can't just get out of that whenever I like. Millennials and Gen Z don't seem to care about that. In the survey, they specifically responded and said, younger investors don't seem to care as much about the illiquidity risks of real estate or private equity, whereas the older generation, and maybe this is they're near to retirement, they might need some liquidity, they're gonna rely on this income. Younger Americans are investing for the long haul. I don't know the reasons here, but there's clearly a trend they are not putting a premium on illiquidity. Now, crypto, the number 2 asset for Gen Z and millennials, that asset is liquid. So maybe they're allocating some of their investments across different assets, and crypto being the one where they know they may have some liquidity. Now remember, for Gen Xers and the baby boomers, the number 1 investment is domestic equities, and it is by far. But for Gen Z and millennials, do you wanna know where it is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the 9th most common asset class for them. It is way down on the list. And where that's coming from is this next stat that I thought was super interesting, which is they asked this question and they said, do you agree with this or not? Is it no longer possible to achieve above average investment returns by investing solely in traditional stocks and bonds? Those aged 21 to 43, 72% of people said, I agree with that. It is no longer possible to get above average returns in the stock market. And I kind of believe that. That's where I'm at on that question. Everybody else might have their own opinion. But those 44 plus, the boomers, the Gen Xers, what did they say? Only 28% believe that. The vast majority of that category, 44 plus, believes you can beat the market by investing in the market. Maybe they assume if you invest in the right stocks, you can beat the average returns of the market. But millennials, Gen Z, not taking it. They're investing their money elsewhere. Now, this is exciting for me because I'm a guy who loves alternative assets. I invested in Bitcoin in 2017. I've invested in private equity. I've invested heavily in real estate. I'm invested in the stock market too, but I love alternative assets because I believe it's a place where you can go and get above average returns. You can get 10% plus returns if you choose and invest wisely. And I think one thing that millennials and Gen Z are tapping into is they're taking more control of their investments. They're taking control of their financial freedom. They're not just gonna put it in some mutual fund that's amorphous that they don't even know what's invested into and let Wall Street just nickel and dime you with fees. They're saying, no, I wanna be more in control and involved with it. And I think that is a better way to reach financial freedom. And there's so much to learn about alternative assets. I have a full 2-day event on that and the different asset categories from oil and gas to venture to startups to private equity to crypto. I do that every year. And on my channel here, I'm always talking about those topics. So please subscribe. I'm Matt Sorensen. We'll see you next time.